I would not be having this conversation right now with you if I was not Kalo now. Yash Jor taught me, and I've been able to somewhere or the other pass that on to my production, how to do production. I want to tell you what Adi said. He said that Nikhil ka company works like a mini Yashraj and a mini Dharma.
सियासत की इस गलती की कीमत इंसानियत को न जाने कितनी सदियों तक चुकानी पड़ेगी.
Hello, Namaste, and welcome again to another edition of the Reader podcast. Our guest today is master filmmaker Nikkhil Advani, whose recent series, Freedom at Midnight, is a must-watch. And for many of us who may not know the tough and difficult road to India's freedom and our nationhood, it is a series that we really must not miss. So please watch this series. It is truly a very, very compelling portrayal of those difficult days leading up to our freedom and partition and the birth of our nation. Nikhil, congratulations and big congratulations on a remarkable series. And, there are so many books on partition. What made you pick up Freedom at Midnight by Dominic Lapierre and Larry Collins?
I think I was very young when my father has to be credited for making me and possibly my sister and myself voracious readers. हमारे ज़माने में there was no social media, there was no OTT, there was no, we got a television only in 1982, I think, when World Cup, or 83 में World Cup था. 82 में I think we hired a TV to watch Paolo Rossi's score. The World Cup was there, football World Cup was there. So 83 में I think we got a this. So I think in our ज़माना the Enid Blyton था, Amar Chitra Katha था, and the classic books was there. I was a big reader of Leon Ury and Eric Segal and all the classics and Shakespeare and this and that. And my father used to like. I think he was the one who pointed up me towards Freedom at Midnight, and so that's a book that I've actually grown up with. I've grown up with being a big avid reader of history, wanting to discuss history whenever I could get a chance. But I think I didn't pick up the book Freedom at Midnight. The book was given to me, in this case, by Danish Khan and Shaugat Mukerji of Sony Live. They are bigger fans of Freedom at Midnight than I was, which I discovered. So we were at a celebration party for Rocket Boys. Season 1 Rocket Boys was done. It did incredibly well. Abhay Pannu, who had worked with me as an associate on Mumbai Diaries, was the right person and to helm that project, to write that project, to direct that project. And we were all celebrating, I think, at Siddharth Roy Kapoor's house in Carter Road, and they took me to the side and they said, what do you think about Freedom at Midnight? I started laughing. I said, you'll never get the rights. Lots of people have tried to get the rights, then you can't get the rights. We've got the rights. We just have one last conversation that has to be happened with Lapierre's, trust, and we'll get the rights. So I said, if you get the rights, then we need to get the budget. Budget के बिना ये show नहीं बन सकता है. So they said that, but we have, I think Rocket Boys, literally it was this, about a week, maybe 2 weeks after Rocket Boys had released, we already knew that, it had done so beautiful, so well, and it had been appreciated so much. So they said, let's do this, let's make this. So my whole thing was that we have to commit to doing it right. If we don't do it right, then there's no point. There's no point, then we should not do it. Mat karo. So there was all these things. A, budget. B, will we be able to do it? Will we be able to tell the story? Will we be able to tell the story this way? There are so many, budget is one thing, casting is the other thing, there are things within the book itself which are slightly uncomfortable today. Will we be able to talk about those things? So yeah, I think Danish and Shaugato I don't think Freedom at Midnight would have been made without Sony Live and without Danish and Shaugato, and I don't think it can be made again. I don't think that can ever happen again.
So, it is so expansive, sweeping, and so how expensive was it?
How expensive was it in the sense that I think what we've done in 14 episodes, most people do with 7 episodes. I think what MA Entertainment, the production company that is my 15th year as having this production company along with Monisha and Madhu who run the production company with me, we know how to bring value for something that is really stretch that rupee to give extreme value to that rupee. So lots of people, when they hear the budget of Rocket Boys or hear the budget of Freedom at Midnight, they say, no, you mean that's one season, right? We say, no, that's not one season. So it's not a cheap show for sure. But we really pulled a lot of favors. For instance, nobody would have got the permission to shoot the way we shot at Umaid Bhavan if it was not Madhu, my founding partner's relationship with the Taj Group, and the way that she actually went as a production, the way we went and we spoke to them and we told them and we said that, where they came and they said, you can't have more than 100 people with actors, with the crew. More than 100 people cannot be there. And you have to shoot it on these days in the month of May, which is our lowest period in terms of guests. So they gave that. And we created the schedule around the fact that because we were clear, Malay Prakash and myself were clear that for the scale of the show, we need to shoot at the Umaid Bhavan. We need to do that. So yeah, I'm not saying it's a cheap show at all. There's no question about it. But it's definitely, I have heard about other shows being double the budget of what we've spent for 14 episodes of Freedom at Midnight.
Yeah, because Umaid, those steps, they look like the forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan. They give you that.
I mean, it's honestly, if you can go to be part of the public walkthrough of Rashtrapati Bhavan, which it happens every day. You have to apply for it. You got to register it for it. You got to send your Aadhaar card. They have a couple of slots through the day, and depending on whether the President of India is actually in residence or she's going to be using parts of the house, they take you through the house. It's phenomenal. Umaid Bhavan is massive. I believe there's some 500 rooms in Umaid Bhavan, right? But really, it is 1/4 the size of Rashtrapati Bhavan. And Rashtrapati Bhavan, right, in 1947, and before that, it was made in 1912. I think 1912 it was designed, and then by 1930 or something, it was made. 1947 to 1930 to 1947, 2 people, the Viceroy and the Viceroy. They are the people who stayed in this massive, it's huge. I just came from Delhi the other day, and I was driving from Janpat, where my hotel was, to the airport, and you just keep driving across and you just keep looking at the left hand side. It's green, and it's just President's Gardens. It's a great thing to be proud of, but 2 people. And later on I found out that Dr. Rajendra Prasad and I think Dr. Radhakrishnan, Rajendra Prasad, all of these, the first and second President of India who are Gandhians, they never stayed inside the Rashtrapati Bhavan. They would stay in the press office. They would stay in the staff because they couldn't believe that they had this house. So yeah, I mean, Umaid Bhavan is massive, and we were very lucky to shoot there. But nothing compared to Rashtrapati Bhavan. And I wish I could have shot over there.
So your own family is from Sindh. So how, while making this series, were there your personal family experiences, did that shape you in any way?
Yeah, it has always shaped me. In the sense, my personal family, my grandmother and my grandfather came from Karachi and Hyderabad. we were very lucky, or rather, my grandmother's family, my father's family was very lucky because they happened to be more affluent in that. To really, although now, funnily, a lot of my father's siblings and my father's family have turned around after watching the show and said, but we did come by train also. A group of them came by train and they went from Karachi to Hyderabad to Ahmedabad. My father actually, funnily, when he came here in 1946, stayed in a refugee camp in Andheri. I'm trying to figure out what that refugee camp is. I'm trying to trace back to understand what that refugee camp is, and I think that maybe it is Aram Nagar, where I started working with Sudhir Mishra in 44 Aram Nagar Part 2. So maybe if there is some karmic kind of going back to that. We were very affluent in that sense. My family was very affluent. My grandmother's father was a big industrialist in Karachi, so he could actually get all his children and their children into a plane and fly them into Bombay, but they gave up everything. My grandmother, that's why all through her life she used to always have a story to tell us about her teenage years in Karachi and in Pakistan, and this is what we used to do, and this is how it was, and this is what your grandfather gave up, and this is what we could have actually taken benefit of it. We chose not to benefit. So I think that far removed from the horrors of partition, very, very far removed from the horrors of partition, but somewhere as a community, Sindhis lost everything, right? In the sense that Punjab was still divided and Bengal was still divided, but the entire Sindh went into Pakistan. So we lost everything. So really it was, for us, it has been a big value for us has been to appreciate everything that we have and to work hard. Nothing is going to come easily to us, right? My family's whole thing has always been, and that's why I think that, that's why most people say that no matter whatever I do is working, not working, good, bad, it shows, all the hard work shows
So did your family ever get a chance to go back and see the whole?
My father went back. My father went back for a couple of days to Karachi when it was possible to go back, and he went to the house where now there is a Pizza Hut or a Pizza Hut or a Pizza Express or a Domino's or something is there. He went to the Dawn newspaper to just check because they have a list of people who migrated from Pakistan to India. So he went and saw that. If I can go back anytime. A couple of years ago, we had the opportunity. I had the opportunity being part of 6 Indian filmmakers that Shailja Kejriwal had figured the 6 Indian and 6 Pakistani filmmakers making short films, and we met on the Wagah border. So it was very special.
So do you have any, objects that were brought from Sindh?
I'm sure my grandmother had. I'm 100% sure my grandmother had. I'm 100% sure that do we have it? I think that also, what happened is that as my father grew up, he went to IIT, he married my mother who was from Bombay. She was a Bombay girl, grew up in Dadar on Cadell Road, Shivaji Park. So I think that we also just grew up as, what's the big deal of this partition? What do you we should I should tell my grandmother, what's the big deal? Abhi bhul jao. Ho gaya abhi jo bhi. Abhi yahan, why do you keep, reminiscing, remembering, cursing something that's gone? I think if she had seen Freedom at Midnight, I think I understood while making what they left, what they came away with. I think that's something that I understood big time when I was making the show. Yeah.
So in your, impressive filmography, where does Freedom at Midnight feature?
I told Shaugato that if I would not make anything after Freedom at Midnight, I would retire very happily. He started laughing. he started laughing, and Saugata knows me very well. We've been very close friends for a long time. And he started laughing. He said, "You can't, Mr. Advani, I know you, the day Freedom at Midnight releases, next day you'll have already been started 10 other things." But yes, that's where if I hope that now that Freedom at Midnight has been made and it has been received the way it has been received, and I'm still working, I hope that I can end my career with something like Freedom at Midnight. So I will hope that opportunity comes again. I don't know whether it will come again. It's very special. We knew it was special. While we were making 400 of us, whether you are A crew, B crew, C crew, A plus crew, every single person would turn up in that, I would know that it was. I remember the first day that Chirag walked onto the set as Gandhi, the set became quiet. Just became absolutely quiet. You have a set which is 200 people, light men, this, that, whatever. It was the first scene that he actually enters the Viceroy's office in season 1. He enters the Viceroy's office to meet Dickie Mountbatten and Edwina, and they are nervous to meet him. And the door opens and he's standing over there and he smiles, he looks back, and you have this whole Viceroy's staff just staring at him, and he just walks through. And the way Chirag walked, the set became quiet. And I remember his last scene. His last scene was where we were shooting in Baradari Palace in Patiala. And there was, most of the crew was also, most of the HODs and the actors were staying there. And there was one, it's Captain Amrinder Singh's suite, is his house, is his room. They don't usually give it to anybody. And that was a suite they had given to me for some time, and then I wanted to stay with the rest of the crew, so I just walked back and I said, "No, I can't stay there, I'll stay here." But we used that as Gandhi's Birla house in the show. And Malay hated that room because he says the light does not come in the correct way. By the time the light comes across and the natural light is coming into the window, it's already going behind the trees. I hate this place. I have to pump it with artificial light. But we knew we had to do the post-assassination, the post-death scene in that room. I said, I have to do it inside this room. So he was cursing me for it. And all we knew is that I knew that I wanted to do the scene with just a series of shift focus from character to character, from character to character. Whether they were seeing eye to eye, Nehru, Patel, so shift focus from them, or to Abha, Manu, Indra, Edwina Mountbatten, and so he's just doing some shit. So I placed the people inside, and Arthi was lying in the middle of the room, and Chirag just came and lay down on that. And I think for 4 hours nobody spoke. They were just, we felt Gandhi was in the room. हमको लगा Gandhi room में. Nobody spoke. It was just everybody was almost like using sign language to. No, I want the light from that. It was like that. It was phenomenal experience. Yeah, excellent experience.
Yeah, when the credit rolls, you see there's an army of people who have worked on this show, and so in terms of the characters, you mentioned Chirag. I mean, he lost so much weight for that role, and Siddhant Gupta and Rajendra Chawla. I mean, he's just you think that is Patel.
Yeah.
And so what are the performances that you really, really liked, especially, from your heart, and what appealed to you most?
I'm glad you asked me this question because I have the opportunity to actually. I owe a very big apology to Cordelia Bugeja, who plays Edwina. I mean, her role was much more in the show, and we cut it. That was the one thing that was heartbreaking for me because we cut it. It's an incredible performance. It's an incredible performance. There's a scene that she does when she goes to the refugee camp for the first time. and she breaks down. No, she comes back home and she's just wants to get the blood out of her. Incredible performance, and but we cut it. I had to cut it out. Incredible scenes with Nehru, with Mountbatten himself, because she basically tells him that, you are responsible. You are responsible. There's a moment of that in season 2 where she says, "What about these people? I did it all without spilling a drop of English blood," he says, and he says, "What about Indian blood?" So I thought it was superb. Rajendra Chawla, we knew he was going to be fantastic. He was come onto the set and every single person was in love with him. Divya Nidhi Sharma, who wrote the dialogues, was in love with that character. I had also given him khulla haath, go, have fun. I want Salim Javed kind of lines, punchy lines hona chahiye, and make him, I remember Rajendra Chawla came, I've read about, he had heard all of Patel's speeches, he had read books about Patel, and I said, forget all that. Just play him like every Gujarati uncle. Rokda, profit loss. Ye acha hai, ye bura hai. Forget about, there is no grey. For Patel, the grey had to be Nehru. For me, the grey had to be this guy Nehru is a guy who's being pulled through by the ideology of Gandhi and the pragmatism of Patel. He's being pulled asunder, he's being pulled apart. And Patel, you know you're right, you know your this thing, you have a point of view, and you're Iron Man, say what you want to say. Play on the front foot. Play on the front foot. Play on the front foot. Never a this thing. The only thing which I think that we pulled off and is that the agree to disagree part. I disagree with you, but I respect you. जो मुझे लगता है आज नहीं होता है. Right? You take it to this thing, they all were stalwarts, they all were literate, they all were educated, they all were knowledgeable, they all were coming from different points of view, possibly, but even Jinnah, they loved to, throw Jinnah completely, rip him apart. I think that some of the decisions that we took really worked in our favor, which is that I said, ki boss, Jai-Veeru, Gabbar or Thakur, I want to play it like this. ये दोनों Jai-Veeru है, गांधी ठाकुर है, ये गब्बर है. इसको ऐसे play करो. And write it like this. I told Divya, write it. Divya was so happy when I told him that. Because he said, finally it's no longer going to be like some kind of stodgy period piece or whatever. मजे लेने वाले हम, मस्ती करने वाले हम लोग. We did that, I knew for a fact that we were going to put the audience into, or rather that was the endeavor, to put the audience into the rooms where all these decisions were being taken, right? And I say this all the time. I say कि retrospect इतना powerful tool है कि अब हम लोग बैठ के 80 साल के बाद बोल सकते हैं कि अरे they should have done it like this. ऐसा करना चाहिए था यार. आपको सारा अभी information है.
It's so easy for us to say all that.
They did not know anything. They had no idea about anything, right? They were getting first time information. By the time they got it, 1,000 people had already been killed. Can you imagine, right? Whether it's a phone call, whether it is this, they were putting out a fire over here, 3 fires were going up over there. They were putting up something, rumors were going on, confusion. And 2 things. June 3rd, 1947, the decision was that the Brits would leave out, the English would leave in June 1948. By July, he made it 5 weeks. Number 1. Mountbatten just panicked. हम निकल रहे, it's going to be civil war, it's going to blow up, we are going to be caught in the middle of this, get out. Number 1. And they had no clue that Jinnah was going to die. If they knew Jinnah was going to die, they would have just extended, आगे बढ़ो, आगे बैठो, मर गया. Let's go back now, let's not talk about partition. 2 things. 2 very big. 1963, they gave a Padma Shri to the doctor. We gave a Padma Shri. The government of India gave a Padma Shri to the doctor who hid the most valuable information for the rest of India. Can you believe that? It's shocking. I think these are things that make history so interesting. Just either जा सकते हैं या इधर जा सकते थे. Everything could have changed.
So this, you mastered this long form of storytelling. So, and you say that you were always interested in history, and so when did this realization dawn that I want to do this? Was it when you were doing D-Day and Batla House, or so? When did this thing happen?
I think that's the time. Yeah.
So, what drew you to non-fiction? And also, it's not just non-fiction. Yeah, it's not non-fiction. It is, the history, politics,
I just felt that fact is stranger than fiction, right? If I told you, just imagine, right? If I tell this room right now that I'm telling a story of 12 young boys that are recruited in Pakistan, that get into a inflatable raft, right? And they come into the Bay of Bombay, right? And four of them go into the Taj, 4 of them go into the Oberoi, some of them go to the VT station. Leopold को लोग की तबाही कर देते. You would say that ये नहीं हो सकता है यार. We are stupid or still be caught. It's not possible. They came on a raft. They came on inflatable rafts. मतलब जो आप देखते हो ना, मतलब जो बीच में जब जाते हो, मतलब on a raft they came and they did this for 3 days. You would say it's not possible. If that event did not happen on 26/11/2008, and I had just told you that, you would say it's not possible, right? It happened. So fact is always stranger than fiction. So my idea was, whether I did Mumbai Diaries, whether I did D-Day, whether I did Batla, even when I did POW, POW was a lovely show on Star Plus that we did, which was based on Hatufim, Israeli show. I love the fact that I could actually equate the 2 men who had been incarcerated, who had been imprisoned in Pakistan, and so I used the backdrop of Kargil. In fact, when I did the pilot and I showed the pilot to Uday Shankar at Star, and the title was Kargil, and he said, "Hey, documentary बना रहा हो क्या?" It has been more Bandi Yudh ke, he made it, So yeah, so I just think that, I think that really, so D-Day, Batla House, even Airlift. When Airlift came to us, I didn't direct it, I produced it, and it came to us as 177,000 people are going to be evacuated from Kuwait. I said, this doesn't happen, yaar. 177,000 people to be evacuated from Kuwait. Pagal hai ke we would not heard about it. And 498 Air India planes are flying. Commercial planes have been flown to bring these guys back. Known as the greatest human evacuation ever. How come we did not hear about it? He said, yeah, there are two articles. Just 2 articles. One of them was Rediff. And I said, let's do this film. And I said, I have only one condition, that I want Ritesh Shah and Suresh Nair, who wrote D-Day, to write this film. He was writing it with some other writer at that time, and I said, I want that. So he said, okay. So later on he asked me, why did you say that? Why did you want? I said, because you see, it was a historical event which becomes very boring, because after a while you know what the outcome of that historical event is. Right? You know it's going to be about bringing them back. Now you can read enough about it, you can go to Rediff only and say, oh, they got them back successfully. Usme kya hai? Make it a little more. How do you make it something more? What is the film saying? And that's where Ritesh, good writers come in, where Ritesh actually turned around and said, it's not the story about bringing these guys, because the airlift actually happens in the last 5 minutes of the film. आखिरी 5 मिनट में airlift होता है. The entire film is about Akshay Kumar's character Ranjit Katyal understanding what India is. There's a lovely dialogue in the interval scene, post-interval scene, pre-interval scene, where Purab Kohli asks him that, why are you doing this, whatever, I thought you didn't believe in India. He says, आदमी की फितरत यही है, जब उसे चोट लगती है तो पहले बार उसे माँ की याद आती है. For me, that became the film. And that only a writer can do. Freedom at Midnight also was best. We would not be able to do anything we did if we did not have the writing room we had. Abhinandan Gupta, Gundeep, Aditya Kandas, Revanta Sarabhai, Divya Nidhi Sharma, Ethan Taylor, superb. Because what we defined, and Danish is so good with this, and he's so brilliant with this. He said that every single person will read the book or will have read the book and will have a point of view on did they do it like this? Did they not do it like this? Isko aisa kar sakte? Did we get it right? If you're left liberal woke, you'll say that we got it wrong. If you're right wing, you will say that yeah, they got these things right, but you do not get these right. If you're left wing, you say they got these. It was moderate, whatever, centrist. So many ways, so polarizing. What is indisputable is the events. Direct Action Day हुआ, फिर नुआखाली हुआ, फिर ये हुआ, फिर वो is indisputable. Let's concentrate on the events. So basically the tagline, the history you may not know, but the history you should know became very important. And then Shogato, we were having a discussion one day, and then Shogato, we were all discussing, and I used to make fun about these, all these platforms and all. You talk about logline क्या होता है यार? Write a story, write a screenplay, आगे बढ़ते हैं यार. क्या logline? I have now become a advocate of logline, because I tell all my teams, what's the logline?
What's logline क्या होता है?
Correct. Logline होता है कि मतलब logline of Freedom at Midnight is the sacrifice of many and the ambition of one. I said every scene must contribute to this logline. अगर the scene does not contribute to this logline, scene को उठा के फेंक दो. Every scene in long form has to contribute to the logline. The logline of Mumbai Diaries was, those who are meant to heal are sometimes the most fractured. Every scene has to contribute to that. मेरे teams को पता है. They even they have a good scene. They say he will not let it come through. He's not passing the logline. That's what a great. That is what makes you. That's what connects you. That is what. As an audience, you have bought into the show because of this logline. You have bought into it. मुझे देखना है, अरे कितना sacrifice किया है यार ये लोग ने. और वो जिन्ना, so stubborn yeah he was. उसने तबाही की. He was bad. So even when the scene where he is actually feeling what the hell have I done, मुझे छोड़ना पड़ेगा. मुझे बॉम्बे से जाना पड़े, मुझे कराची जाना पड़े. That also contributes to the ambition of one, because he himself has not been able to understand what he has done.
That Jinnah scene.
And that's a scene straight from the book. When I read it in the book, I was shaken. Because literally he thought that he could rule Pakistan from Malabar Hill. मुझे जाना ही नहीं है. He had built his house in Malabar Hill. We go to his house in Malabar Hill. I have grown up over there, right? We used to go by very close to my house. I took my daughter after Freedom at Midnight. We released and now we were going for a drive. Do you want me to show it to you? Because now we live in Altamont Road. And I said, this is where Jinnah is. He built that house literally brick by brick by brick. He built it with his own hands. And he was shocked. He did not anticipate it. He did not calculate it. उसको सिर्फ ये था कि नेहरू को नहीं मिलना चाहिए. गांधी, नेहरू, पटेल, these are the babbling battery of lawyers. उनको नहीं देंगे. In Marathi we have a saying, मला नाही तुला नाही घाल कुत्राला. Dog in the manger. That's purpose.
So to you, these characters, these Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, Jinnah. So what are the characters that appeal to you most?
I don't know. I think that a little of everybody appeals to me. a little of, I don't know, a little of everybody appeals to me the most. A little of, I mean, if you can be as pragmatic as Patel, but at the same time as ideological as Gandhi, at the same time as, how do I put it, diplomatic as Nehru, as visionary as Nehru, that'd be great. It'd be superb.
And at any point, did you feel any pressure, to play up or play down a character in keeping with the political climate of today?
No, not at all. Not from Sony, because we did so much work on the script. If there was going to be any kind of discussion, all the discussion that had to be happened was on the 2 years that we were working on the script. A lot of people ask me that why did you choose to not show Godse in the last 6th and 7th episode, 7th episode, and I said I don't want to show him. I said because every time, all these years, I mean, all the 13 episodes before that, I have put audiences into the room. I have tried to put them into the same spaces where the leaders are, where they're discussing. The first season is like a chamber piece. It's like a boardroom drama. It's like almost a 60-year-old men just discussing, hum log kya karne wala hai India ke saath. So you just feel it's a little laborious. Second season just opens up. Boom. It just opens up. I keep saying that the first season is internal, the second season is external. What happens to us? How it affected all of us. That's why second season has just taken off in that sense. My thing was, I'm putting you into the train where the killings are going to happen. I'm putting you in the train where the blast is going to happen. I'm putting you into the protests. I'm putting you into the Lahore fires of them. I'm putting you into the Calcutta carnage. I'm putting you into the same place where Gandhi is saying, I'm going faster to death. And you are saying that it's so immersive and it's so, how can I suddenly pull back and say that in the 7th, I know who killed Gandhi. I do not know, in the sense that neither did Madan Lal Pava know what his name was, neither did D.W. Mehra know what his name was, who was a DIG of Delhi at that time, who was investigating the 20th January blast, and neither did the Home Ministry know. Nobody knew. He was a ghost. So I decided to play him a ghost. It worked for me in D-Day also. In D-Day also, you never see the ISI. You never see the ISI. They are always a ghost. They are always shot from over their shoulder. But you know they're there. You know that, and that, for me, that it was a very powerful interpretation.
Nehru and Patel have sort of equal screen time.
Like in season 1, Siddhant was like, why are people saying that, he's so passive. Nehru so passive in season 1, Nehru so passive in season 1. And I kept saying, wait, I said, Siddhant, you read the script here. There, people, even all the reviews said that, Patel overpowers Nehru. And I kept saying that, and then they say, by the 5th episode, Nehru takes big, but for me, it was a boy becomes a man. That was also a big arc in the show. Nehru was 56. Everybody was 70 plus. He was the youngest kid in the room. Literally. He was the most inexperienced of all of them. So I kept saying, wait. In the 5th episode, there's a scene where Gandhi comes to him and says that Patel is not listening to me to make Jinnah Prime Minister. And Nehru says, I'll also. It's not going to happen. It cannot happen. It's the first time he goes against Gandhi. Then the 6th episode is when he goes to Simla. Then the 7th episode is where he takes the decision to partition India. So this arc of the character was that he's going to become whatever. Very clearly in the first season, Patel was dominant. He was this thing. So I'm so glad that I'm so glad you are saying that, there's equal balance, because for a long time I had to live with this thing that I had given Patel more opportunities than I had given the Nehru character in season 1. But I kept saying, wait for season 2. And when season 2 came, it will be, who gives the Tryst with Destiny speech? So brilliantly done by Siddhant. It's incredibly done, One take.
Both the speeches, he's done it well.
Both. The second speech, so he didn't even know that there was a recording. He went and gave it. I said, it's as good as the recording. He said, what recording? I said, there's a recording. So Can I hear the recording? I said, you haven't heard it? You've done a thunder when you've done drama, and you said, I've read this and I've read stories and this and that. You know, no, I've not heard. So I made him hear it. So he said, I want to do one more take. So he did a second take of that, but we used the first take. We still use the first take only. Yeah, both his speeches are incredible. So there is no pressure. I think that one thing that I was very, very gratified with is when Danish saw season 2. He called me and he said that what you have managed to do with Nehru and Patel in the last 2 episodes, where they are going at it, and then they break, and then they come back together, and that scene which I told you about it, because I knew that I wanted to place, I had heard about the scene about, I mean, you know, where Duryodhan and Arjun go and ask Krishna to be, I want the army and I want this. One sits at the feet and the other sits at the head. So I wanted to play that kind of this thing and shift focus from one to the other and that kind of stuff. That's the moment where Sardar goes and checks his pulse. I didn't ask him to do it. He did it. Rajendra Chavda.
And Gandhiji's already passed away.
Yeah. Gandhi's passed away and he's checking his pulse. Then you guys have got it wrong. Can you imagine? It's not possible. Bapu cannot die. हो ही नहीं सकता है यार. His pulse, maybe you all have not been able to this. Yeah, I didn't ask him to do it. He did it. And then when he comes in, he says, I knew that I wanted him to break down and I wanted one to look to the other and look to the other. And when they hear the other guys outside saying that, you know, Patel should have, you know, been more vigilant about his security and this and that or whatever, I knew that I would make them look at each other. But Danish called me up and said, yeah, stunning hai ki and literally whenever I see that scene in the episode 13, there's a scene where he comes first into the house, Patel comes to Nehru's office and Nehru's having a meeting. And Nehru looks at Iyengar and Iyengar realizes and Iyengar makes everybody leave the room. And Nehru goes and shuts the door. And then they have a conversation. And Patel says, ki mera mantralaya mujhe chalane dijiye. That's the first one. Where he says that I want you to dismiss these people from the home ministry, etc. In the same episode, there's a second scene happens where again Patel enters into Nehru's office and Nehru's having a meeting. And again Iyengar gets up to tell people to leave and Nehru says no, tell them to wait. And now he says, now it's going to be public. I don't need to have niceties anymore. You want to go at it? You just barged into my office. Now we'll talk. And Patel, and again Rajendra sees that. I mean, and we did it as a thing, and I saw what Rajendra was doing, and I told Malay, hey, close mar. Just take one close and leave the entire camera on to Rajendra. And he looks at that, and he just nods his head and says, okay. So now the swords are drawn. Now there's no holding back. Chalte abhi karte abhi jo karna hai. Fab, they both are too good. It's my best scene. I think it's my best directed scene. Because even Malay and I are in sync in that scene. Both of us know exactly which magnification to cut to, what close-up to take. The actors, you know, I told Siddhant at one time, I said, Siddhant, matlab tu ye sab, matlab acting ka ye jharta hai. You know, I'm a method actor and this and that, wo ye karta hai. By the time... and I'm a very filmy, I've learned from Farah Khan and Karan and Adi and all these things. So, I told him, now you know exactly कि मेरा trolley कब कौन सी line पे मेरा trolley चलने वाला है. तो you hold on to that, you hold on to a performance for that line. And you know, and then he knows that I say, hey, Malay, we'll do one track on this shot. And he gives he just gives one like hero line, hero look at that time. So yeah, everybody, all of us learned, we enjoyed ourselves so much during that.
So that is your favorite
That scene is my favorite scene. That scene and the post-Gandhi scene is my favorite scene.
So what are some of the responses to Freedom at Midnight that have made you most happy?
Balki called me up and we watched it on the 26th of January. And he spoke to me for about an hour and a half. And he had loved the first season. And he said that, but he had some minor issues in the first season. And he said that, you know, I think that the violence could have been a little more balanced, etc., etc. And I took it. When I was doing the second season, although we shot both the seasons together, I edited the second season. So I just really was very, very conscious of what Balki had said. He was very, very, very generous, and he was very, the industry, I just kept sending voice note after voice note. We cannot stop watching. We can't see this. Everybody was just saying. There's an incredible person. I mean, there's a columnist who I'm very, very, and a person, forget a columnist. Her name is Rajni Bakshi. And she's a Gandhian. And she writes for the Indian Express. Very, very senior, very senior, very senior. She interviewed Madan Lal Pava. That senior. That senior journalist. And we are on the board of G5A. And she... So Nikhil, everybody is talking about this thing that you have made and all. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to see whether... It was very... she's really been a vociferous voice about the world not understanding Gandhi. You all don't understand what he was. You all don't understand what he was. She finished watching it 3-4 days ago. And she sent me a message saying that I have just finished watching your show. I will speak to you later because I'm still shaking. Bless you, bless you, bless you. So I feel that's a very big, big, I think so. That is a huge thing for me, to be able to get a kind of endorsement from somebody like her.
Yeah. And Shah Rukh or Karan Johar, Adi, have any of them seen it?
Adi saw first season.
So what did he think?
Adi saw season 1. I don't know whether he has seen season 2. First season when he saw, he said that you are the master of this genre. This is your best work. Rani saw it. She said, yaar, Jinnah itna ye tha, matlab kya hua? What guts he had, yaar. Typical Gajadani. What guts did he had, yaar? Nick, see how you have showed it, yaar. Nick, what you showed and all, So Rani saw it. I don't know. Karan has seen it. I don't know whether he has seen it. I think Shah Rukh should see. He's a great. He is a huge thing of history. So I don't know whether you've seen it.
And now that you finished Revolutionaries, so when are we likely to see it?
I signed copious, very, very strict NDAs with. But you'll see it now in a couple of months.
So what can you tell us about it? Who are some of the revolutionaries that...
so Revolutionaries is a story of very, very young boys and girls, very young men and women and a woman. 4 of them. Raj Bihari Bose, Bhaga Jatin, Sachindranath Sanyal, and Pratibha Lahiri, who became Pratibha Sanyal. And it's 1912 to 1915. It gets over on the 21st of February 1915. Mahatma Gandhi came to India only on June 15, 1915. So it's like literally 6 months before he came, or 4 months before he came. Where actually the whole concept of revolution changed to non-violence because he came. Prior to that, it was all about people who just had this kind of josh and this kind of jazba to basically say ki British Empire, you can't, what gives you the right to subjugate us? What gives you the right to rule us? What gives you the right to create laws? What gives you and they used to rob banks, they would kill officers, they would throw bombs in this thing. And they had a motto which was from our blood aur bhi aayenge. And thanks to these 4, it led to people like Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Udham Singh, and the Kakori Dakati case. Lots of stuff that happened over there. So it's very different from Freedom at Midnight. The way the show, it's young. Bhuvan Bam, it's Kurfateh Pirzada, it's Rohit Saraf, it's Pratibha Ranta. Yeah, it's very, very different. It's while Freedom at Midnight is more, how do I put it, dignified drama, and this is action thriller. It's got 6 songs. It's my big inspirations are RRR and Manoj Kumar's films and Subhash Ghai's films. Kranti is my big inspiration with this, Channa Chor Garam Babu, that kind of stuff is there. It's great fun. It's a very unique and it's about young people who basically Rang De Basanti. It's like that. Yeah.
And also about Hum Hindustani, I wanted to ask you, did the idea for Hum Hindustani, did it trigger while you were making Freedom of Midnight?
Rahul Dholakia's idea. It has got nothing to do with us. Rahul Dholakia already had the idea. He was the person who had written the script. Netflix had bought into the script. I made a joke saying that I think they know I have period costume, vintage car, vintage costume, vintage सब कुछ पड़ा हुआ है यार, उसको दे दो वो कर लेगा. I wanted to, I think Rahul, I've always admired him as a filmmaker, whether it's Parzania, whether it's Raees, whether it is Agni. I've always admired him as a filmmaker, and it's a unique opportunity for us to start our relationship with Netflix. I mean, I've worked a lot with Sony, I've worked a lot with Hotstar as well as with Amazon. I've done a lot of work. We had done Hasmukh with Netflix, but it was done through Applause. So it was an opportunity for us to do some, start working with Netflix, hopefully that, when Hum Hindustani releases, it will result in much more work that we do with Netflix, yeah.
And Saif from Kalona, who will be working in this?
No, Saif did Bazaar also with us, right? So he did Kaluna, he did Bazaar, and now he's doing this. I mean, and he's great in it, in the sense that he really is, transformed himself into this really like a period kind of, very Bengali mathematician stroke, this thing, who's trying to get the first elections going in this country. Yeah.
So you've mastered this long form of storytelling, and which is so you enjoy this research based storytelling. So now beyond this, what are you planning to do? Are you going?
I'm going to start I think I'm going to do a film.
Okay.
And I want to do a rom-com. And I'm writing 5 of them. 5 different writers are writing 5 different rom-coms at this point. So, and I want to use this opportunity to tell them that whichever is ready, I'll start. But yeah, 5 of them are writing, 5 different. I feel that, for a very long time, I felt that the kind of love stories that we grew up with, there was not a place for it anymore. That, does the new generation really know what, the Shah Rukh and Kajol of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and, So I was staying away from it. I was just saying that no, because I don't want to get rom-com wrong, because that was my learning, So it has to be, and it's not about the stuff that possibly a lot of people have written out there is bad. It's just that I think the audiences were a little, I don't know. We're a very angry country at this point, and I feel that. We have been a very angry country at this point, and I just feel that it's important for us now, I think, that to embrace love and to embrace hope and to embrace that purana thoda, ये हो सकता है क्या, he said, yeah, of course, मैं नहीं आऊँगा तुम्हारे, नहीं मैं नहीं आऊँगा सिमरन, मैं नहीं आऊँगा, that kind of this thing. Maybe that works a little more. But I also at the same time, I'm very, very conscious that I'm 55 years old. So I spoke to Akshay a couple of days ago, couple of weeks ago. I spoke to him and I said, "मैं rom-com लिख रहा हूँ." He said, "याद रखना कि right now, I mean, we are all not very young." I said, "Don't worry. When I come to you with a script, I'll come with an age-appropriate script." So yeah. So I want to make why are 40 or 45-year-olds and 50-year-olds not falling in love again? Why is that only supposed to be that when you're young? Can also people like us fall in love? Yeah, so I'm trying to make a film like that.
So who do you think would be the jodis for this 40-45 year?
Who will be the
jodi for this 40?
I don't know.
If you
I
take a
can't
random guess,
All-
no, I'm not saying
all the
don't
people-
reveal who is it. Who do you think?
All the people I've worked with are in this thing. Yeah, whether all of them. I don't know what it is, right?
How do you look back on Kal Ho Na Ho?
I would not be having this conversation right now with you if I was not Kal Ho Na Ho. Freedom at Midnight also, I mean, like I said, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing a scene in a particular way and I want to think about how I want to say action okay to the performance, I'll think, oh, this scene is, how would Karan and Adi do a scene like this or whatever. So I think about that. The scale, all the scale that you are talking about, I would not be able to do a Freedom at Midnight or an Airlift or Revolutionaries if it was not Yash Johar. Yash Johar taught me, and I've been able to somehow or the other pass that on to my production, how to do production. कि मतलब production ऐसा होता है, आप खर्चा करो, but spend on the right things. Just spend on the things that people are going to find value in the storytelling also. Spend on the right things. Yash Johar taught me that at all. I use that constantly. I use that, those conversations I had with him, those protocols I set up with him, I use that in the production all the time. We use it constantly. He is the one person I'll think about for every. If I'm in a production jam, I'll think about Yash Johar क्या करते, इसको किस तरह से वो solve करते, and he would solve it. He was the best. There's no question about it. Best producer in the business. So that's one. When it comes to nowadays, when it comes to what I want to say and what I want to, my voice in what it is Sudhir Mishra, right? I think about what will Sudhir do, and will Sudhir be proud of what I'm doing, and will Sudhir tell the rest of, because Sudhir sits on a darbar, right? He sits in his office, he has a darbar, and he keeps telling that you all don't anything. Nikhil मेरा assistant था. ये आप लोगों सब you all want to go and work with him. वो मेरे साथ assistant. मैं अभी phone कर सकता हूँ, वो अभी आ जाएगा. And he's right. I'll leave everything and go and sit with him. So I think, what does Kal Ho Na Ho mean to me? It laid just like my 3-4 years where I followed Sudhir and Renu everywhere. My 7 years in Dharma Productions and Yash Raj are the most. They are responsible for, in the last 15 years, MA Editor has done 40 different stories, has told 40 different stories. We are continuing to work at a time where most people are saying the industry is over, industry ठप हो गया है, industry में काम नहीं है. We are working and we are doing constant work. So yeah, I think that I can't do that without Kal Ho Na Ho or all the stuff that I learned.
So what did Sudhir Mishra say? Has he seen Freedom at Midnight?
But he just sent me one love. He said, brilliant, just brilliant. Javed Akhtar, incredible. Nikhil Saab, आप कहाँ से सीखा आपने ये सब? All this. Javed Saab always calls me up and says something. Shabana called me up and said that I am going to watch it. I'm warning you if there is something that I don't like in this. I'm warning you. But yeah, they all loved it. I'm dedicated to Shabana Azmi. I'm dedicated to anything that she does. I'm so happy that she did Empire with us, and she's the first person I call for. If I have to, just if I'm stuck about something, I'll say, what do you think about saying it like this? She says, hey, it was a big deal. As long as you are okay with it, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Say it,
It must be so nice working with Rani after so many seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I called her up. Ashima wanted to work with her, and we had the script. I loved the script. I read the script. I called up my sister. It was Sunday. I said, drop everything you're doing. Read the script. It's incredible. Again, in the same thing, I called up Ashima. I said, are you sure this happened? She said, yeah, it's happened. It's totally. Mrs. Chatterjee is Norway. Yeah, I can send you the manuscript. I said, great. So I want to work with Rani. I said, okay, I'll make the call. I called up Rani. I said, calling you after 25 years. 25 साल में रानी मैंने तुझे फोन नहीं किया because I always believe that when I call up the actors that I worked with and people who have been my friends in the industry, I need to make sure that they will not say no. And I know how an actor will just say, yeah, acha hai, whatever, let me read it. I want to leave the meeting saying that I'm doing it. So I called her. I said that 25 years I have not called you. Sending a script. I think you'll get a national award. She said, Nixie, what is it about? So I told her what it is about. She said, okay, send it to me. Thursday. She said, I'll let you know on Monday whether I'm doing the film or not. And I called her up on Monday. I remember I was doing Freedom at Midnight's readings. Freedom at Midnight readings chal raha tha. So I took a little break. I went outside. I called her up. I said, what do you think? She said, I was going to call you up on a Friday and tell you I'm doing the film. But Adi said, let him sweat over the weekend. So I'm doing it. I'm just going to tell you one thing, Nikhil, that I have, for the last 9 years, I've only worked with Yash Raj. वो मेरा घर है. For the first time, I'm moving outside. And I want to tell you what Adi said. He said that Nikhil ka company works like a mini Yash Raj and a mini Dharma. They are us. He knows exactly what we are. Don't worry, I'm telling you, go ahead and do it. So, when she got the national award, I was on the treadmill, and I was getting call after call after call after call. I picked up, and my sister called me. She said, "Hi, have you got this thing? What is happening? Rani's got the national award, this and that." I said, "Okay, but I have 45 minutes all chal raha hai. I'll call her." So I called her after 45 minutes. Shah, gaadi mein baitha hai, called. I said, Rani, I've been waiting. I've not taken anybody's call. मैंने किसी और का call नहीं लिया है. I was just waiting for your call. I was only waiting for your call. I said, why? What happened? She said, because you told me I'll get a national award. मिल गया. I said, you should have got for black. We have made a mistake. It's not that you are this thing. You have got black के लिए मिलना चाहिए. You should have got 25 other awards. I said, congratulations. Yeah, so I'm so happy. She's phenomenal in the film. Phenomenal. And she knew it. The script was a little more subtle. It was a little more classy. And she came, and when she read it, and she said, I'm going to play it like Mother India. मैं ये role Mother India की तरह play करने वाला. It is a Mother India. ये Mother India है. It is a mother who's very fighting. Forget everything. She's taking on a country. And she was so brilliant in it. And I remember the last speech, the last 40 minutes of the film, she doesn't say a word. If you go back and see Mrs. Chatterjee, the last 40 minutes, except for that last one soliloquy, which she had, that's one monologue, the entire climax is actually Jim Sarab and Gauri Balaji. They both are going at it. She's quietly sitting over there. She's just sitting. During the shoot also, it was a 6-day climax shoot. 5 days ke liye she would come and she would sit. Others would do the thing. She would go back. Come, sit, go back. Come, sit. Last day she had her रुला दिया उसने पूरा set को रुला दिया. I knew she'll win it. I had just this thing. Yeah, win it. Fantastic she was.
And what's your relationship with Karan Johar?
I love him. What do you mean? What is your relationship?
And so you, but you're not sure whether he's seen this as yet, right? Freedom
at Midnight. I don't think he has. I don't know. I think Karan is doing so much work now. I don't know where he's going to have time to do. Sometimes when I see that he has posted about this film and that film and this thing and that thing, I think time kab mila? I don't get the time. I hardly get it. I watch today, nowadays I watch stuff that I know of filmmakers that I really, really respect. Sudeep Sharma, Vikram Advani, Hansal Mehta, Anurag Kashyap, Karan, Vetrimaran, Nag, Zoya. I don't really, there was a zamana where we would watch everything. We are so busy. All of us are so busy. It's not only the stuff. Earlier we were doing work. We were only working for ourselves, and for 2 years and 3 years we were just making something else. We're all running production companies. We are all, we are all somewhere or the other creating legacy. कि हमारे जाने के बाद कैसे ये चलते जाएगा. At least that's what we are doing. At least that's what I am doing. Whether it's Abhay Pannu, or whether it's Gaurav Chawla, whether it's Ananya Banerjee, or whether it is, in my office, Revanta Sarabhai, Kushal Mansukani. All these guys are the people who have worked with me, and I feel hugely motivated. I'm not even saying responsible. Responsible to hai because they're working with me. But hugely motivated that they have such incredible stories that they want to tell. So I wanted, I don't know.
So what are some of the films that you watched recently that you had time to watch that you really liked?
So we funded, we made Stolen. The Anurag Kashyap, myself, Vikram Advani and Kiran came together to promote Stolen and to support Stolen, an incredible film on Amazon with Abhishek Banerjee and directed by Karan Tejpal. Superb film. I also funded a film called Sabarbound, which is a Marathi queer film made by Rohan Kanavade. So I'm doing a lot of stuff in the indie world, seen through G5A and through a foundation that I've started for independent voices, independent film, independent cinemas. So that's a lot of the stuff that actually a lot of the time now, literally I've gone back to watching so much of the world cinema and international stuff that I'm watching all the time. Sentimental Value and Past Lives and Perfect Days, and I'm really looking forward to watching Hamnet and Boong, with just one. Beautiful film. Lakshmi Priya. Lakshmi Priya and all of us, we started assisting together. She assisted with Excel, I assisted with Dharma. Motwani and Sujit Da have just supported a beautiful short film called Thursday Special, which is superb. I saw, what's the film that I saw? I saw F1 last year. Mm-hmm. John Abraham had why would John Abraham not have a screening of F1? He had a screening of F1, so we all went and saw it. So if I can, I just usually watch a lot of Patal Lok 2, Kora. I've got Kora 2 on my wish list. After this, I'm going straight home to start watching that. Panchayat is my favorite. I think what the TVF guys do was just incredible. They're just so beautiful. They're so honest. They remind me of Saeed Mirza, Aziz Mirza and Kundan Shah.
Worked with them.
I worked with them. So I wow, man, they are so honest and simple, and they're so, at the end, they're so rooted at the same time, so that, but a lot of my time now goes into just reading. Just reading scripts. Whether it is stuff that we're making at MA, because also nowadays scripts are not as if आपने script लिखा और आप बना रहे हो. आप script देखते हो, उसके बाद second iteration, third iteration better हो सकता है. उसका draft, उसका feedback आया, इसका feedback आया, actor का feedback आया, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff. A lot of my time goes into just that. And if other than that, I'm just at G5A and just trying to make sure that independent voices. Today there is a screening of Songs of the Forgotten Trees. We had a superb, in January we had South Asian films. We had a Irfan Khan retrospective. We had a Mani Ratnam retrospective. So all that, I'm just constantly curating all those things.
And what are your all-time favorite Indian patriotic films?
Indian patriotic film all-time favorite. I think Rang De Basanti is a big all-time favorite film for me.
You mentioned Kranti sometimes.
I love Kranti. I love anything Subhash Ghai does. I love everything. I love anything Manoj Kumar does. Hakikat, incredible film, patriotic. Yeah. Yeah. I think D-Day is a very patriotic film. But I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. It was really, really nice talking to you. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, I forgot the pain in my back.